Hello. Are you ready to get a little messy today for our SEL? To make something? Oh, I'm excited. This will be fun. Today, our mindful monster is named Sensory Sarah. And Sarah likes to play with dough to explore her senses. As she rolls the dough with her hands, she lets down her defenses. She notices how it feels and smells rolling it into a snake. As her senses come alive, her mind feels fully awake. Do you like to play with Play-Doh, clay, or have you ever played with something called salt dough? Now, if you have Play-Doh today or clay, modeling clay, you could use those too. But if you want a little extra something to do, you can make salt dough. And here's the recipe. I'm going to tell you the recipe. We'll show you the recipe right here. It's very simple. There's only 3 ingredients. First, you need 2 cups of flour. Just regular white wheat flour, just white flour. White flour. Second, you need 1 cup of salt. That's a lot of salt. 1 cup of salt. So 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and then you need 1 cup of water. But don't put the water in at first. So the best thing to do is you put the flour in, 2 cups of flour, then you pour in 1 cup of salt, and then mix that up really good. So the salt and the flour are all mixed together. And while you're doing that, stick your hand in there. Just stick your fingers in there and feel what that soft, dry salt and dry flour together feels like. Notice what it feels like. Then you're going to slowly add the water in while you stir it with a spatula or a spoon. And you're gonna just add a little water at a time and keep stirring and stirring and stirring. If it gets to be too clumpy, add a little bit more water. If it gets to be too sticky, add some more flour. You want the balance to be just like dough. You don't want it to stick to your fingers, but you want it to be soft and smooth. So once you've got that made, you can put that in your hands and play with it and roll it between your fingers. And one of the things that you could do is you could make out of your dough, you could make a Sensory Sarah. Roll it into a snake, shape that dough like Sarah, and color it. You can use all sorts of things to color it. You can use watercolor paints, work really, really well. You can also use food coloring that will color the whole dough. If you put food coloring in before you mix it, especially, that will color the whole dough. You can use markers. Markers will work. And then there's 2 things you can do with it. You can either, when you're finished, you can either let it sit for a few days to dry, or if you want to keep it soft, you can mush it up and put it into a baggie and push all the air out of it so it doesn't dry out. Or if you want to harden it into a work of art and keep it, you can set your oven, have your folks do this, have your parents do it, set your oven to 250 degrees. And then you're gonna put them on a cookie sheet in the oven and you bake it at 250 degrees for 1 to 2 hours. Check it after 1 hour, and if it's good after 1 hour, you can take it out. If it needs a little more time, you can leave it in there for a few more minutes or up to 2 hours. So I hope you enjoy that. But while you have made the dough, we're gonna have a little mindful moment with that dough. So hit pause here, make your dough, and come back to this video for our mindful monster moment. Are you ready for our mindful monster moment? Do you have your dough? Okay. Well, today we're going to do our mindful exercise with the help of Sensory Sarah, our mindful monster friend. This mindful monster is very good at using her senses to explore the world, and we are going to try that today. To prepare, let's begin to control our breathing. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And one more deep breath in. And slowly let it go. Now let's close our eyes and push away our thoughts. Let them float away like a leaf in the breeze. Watch your thoughts float away in your mind. And now, reach for your dough. If you are already not holding it, grab that dough and with your eyes closed, play with that ball of dough. Roll it, roll it, roll it in your hands to form a little ball. How does it feel? Is it soft and smooth, or is it sticky? Is it lumpy and clumpy? Does it feel gritty? How does it make your hands feel when you touch it? If you set the ball of dough down now, feel your hands. How are your hands feeling? Do they feel dry? Often with salt dough, it will make your hands feel dry because the salt will dry out your hands. Let's pick it back up and roll it under your hands and form a long, thin snake. Pay attention again to how that dough feels under your skin and how it glides through your fingers. How does it feel? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it smooth or grainy? And now take one finger and rub it along the whole snake, back and forth that you've made. How does your finger feel? And now roll your ball between both hands roll it into a ball with both hands and set it on the table again. How did that feel? Open your eyes and take a look at it. How's it look? Did you make a nice round ball? Did it look how you thought it would look? This is the time you can kind of feel your hands too. Are they starting to feel a little dry with the salt dough? Or maybe you're using Play-Doh. I kind of always find that Play-Doh makes my hands feel soft. Just notice your feelings, how you're doing this, and realize that this is something that you could come back to sometimes. You could play with clay, Play-Doh, or make up a batch of salt dough and craft with that. Make some shapes, make some characters. And I'd really love it if you all made a Sensory Sarah with your salt dough. Send me your pictures. As always, I love seeing your work, and I hope you enjoy our Mindful Monster moment with Sensory Sarah and salt dough. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.